We are now on to our last but certainly not least speaker, Mr. Amos Tinka. So Amos is coming to us from the Mara Elephant Project. He is a GIS specialist and a research assistant with them. And he combines his local Maasai knowledge. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. There we go. He combines his local Maasai knowledge with the scientific expertise to address the human-elephant conflict issues within the greater Maasai Mara area. And he's going to be sharing his practical coexistence strategies that him and his team use to deal with this and promote coexistence. So finally, for our key learning outcomes, we would be looking to understand elephants' roles as keystone species and the threats driving their population decline, recognize the surge in human-elephant conflict incidents and the key factors that contribute to the conflict within the Mara, learn how the Mara Elephant Project uses data and tech such as Earth Ranger for elephant protection and rapid response, and finally to explore the Mara Elephant Project's community-based efforts to reduce conflict and support local conservation jobs. Amos, thank you very much for joining us. I'll hand over to you now.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for your time. My name is Amos Tinka from the Mara Elephant Project. And I just want to share with you how we promote human-elephant coexistence. Mara Elephant Project is a non-governmental organization whose mission is to protect elephants and their habitats across the greater Mara ecosystem. So this is just a beautiful map of our operation area. You can see the Maasai Mara Natural Reserve. That's the green grid, or let's say, the green part of it, and then the gray is settlement area, and whereby we have the community conservancies around that place. And with the map here, it's quite detailed. As you can see, we have the small blue lines over here, if you can see that, and those are electric fences, and the gray ones non-electric fences. And then, as you can see here, these are all community conservancies, and this is the Greater Mara National Reserve, and here we have the Serengeti National Park as well. That's our neighboring country, and so this is just like to show you a map of operation area. So why elephants? Elephants are a keystone species, and elephants are large and impact the landscape with every move they make, literally paving way for the flora and the fauna of the ecosystem to flourish. Only about 400K African elephants remain. Elephants' population have dropped 50% in the last 3 generations. Elephants' habitat are decreased by 60% only in the last 10 years. That is through population increase and all that, and human encroaching protected areas as well. We have elephant habitat. We have the number of conflict incident NEP has mitigated since 2016 has nearly tripled, and that is according to the data that we have. So we can see the elephant mortality map, whereby if you can see here, we have the illegally killed elephants, and then we have unknown, we have the natural, and the PSC management. PSC management stands for problematic animal control, whereby an elephant can get to a settlement area, that's a community area, and probably kill a human being. And in that sense, the community might, get, very angry. And in that sense, instead of having them killing more elephants, the authority might come up with a way of killing one individual elephant, and that really kind of calm the community. And here we have a pure representation of cases of poaching. Though now poaching is not really a problem, but human elephant conflict cases that leads to death of elephants. That's just a pure representation of how since how elephants we've been losing elephants since 2011. So in 2011, you can see like poaching had been high, and 2012 as well. But coming 2013, it started decreasing because of Wildlife Act 2013, and then going across like there are a lot of effort that were put in place to reduce poaching in the Greater Mara ecosystem. So there's one of space threatening the SOA of space threatening people and wildlife. Conflict-related elephant deaths have outpaced those from poaching in the Greater Mara ecosystem. Human-elephant conflict incidents have tripled, and the human population is growing 3 times the global average, expanding agriculture and infrastructure development, putting people and wildlife on collision course. The killing of elephants threatens an iconic keystone species and result in the eroded biodiversity. And so we can just see here like what are some of the causes of human-elephant conflict in the Greater Mara ecosystem, and one of them being habitat loss and fragmentation, expansion of agricultural land, settlement areas, well, and infrastructure, reduce elephants' habitat, forcing them into human areas, land subdivision and fencing disrupt traditional wildlife corridors. As you've seen, like from the previous slide, like on the map, on the Greater Mara ecosystem base map that we have, you can see like how much fences have been coming up since 2019. So, and then we have as well issues to do with crop raiding, attracted to crops like maize. Elephants are attracted to crops like maize, leading to economic losses for farmers. Retaliatory killings or injuries occur when communities try to protect their fields. As you can see, like from the photo that we have over there, that's just one of our elephants that are still like towards the north, and he was rained with arrows, and in that sense, like causing like a lot of injuries to elephants. And we have as well competition for water and grazing resources. Growth and shrinking water resources drive elephants into farms and fill it in search of water and food. Livestock grazing in wildlife areas increase encounters with elephants. And in that sense, like the community adjusting to the organization, the Maasai keeping their livestock. And so there's this competition of resources in the Greater Mara ecosystem. Expanding human population and settlement, growing communities approach and elephant territories, increasing conflict cross-port. Tourism-related development sometimes block migration routes. And in that sense, like as you've seen, like from the map that we have, actually I collected about close to 5,000 kilometers of fences, because that's what I started with the Mara Elephant project, like geospatial part of it, collecting geospatial data like polylines, that's fence lines and roads as well. And so that's how we get this data from. Sorry. And here we can see the graph of human wildlife cases. As you can see, like the unknown cases are just increasing, and wildlife in farms as well are increasing. Wildlife in crowd, wildlife in settlement, wildlife near farm, wildlife near settlement area. And from the picture that we have over there is the picture of a maize plantation that was propagated by elephants. And as a result, the community might retaliate by, shooting arrows to the elephant or even spear sometimes. And the picture that's below, you can see like an elephant with a narrow head. And most of the time, like we find cases of such cases, and we report this to the nearest vet unit, and in that sense, with collaborative effort, we get to be able to treat elephants. And then we have, as Mara Elephant Project, we have like the 4 dots that we're trying, that we're working with. That's elephant population protection, human elephant coexistence, and elephant habitat protection, and landscape connectivity. And in that sense, we will see this as we proceed. So Mara Elephant Project is the primary responder in a 3 million acre of land. And MET is unique because we collaborate with partners to use the data approach method. and we are as well a paramilitary organization, and that sense we as well foster wildlife protection in that sense. So we have different methods that we use. We have the boots on the ground, we have research department, and we have partners as well. That will really help in terms of like a stable population and health population coexisting peacefully. And in that sense, with our partners, like we normally receive calls. We have an hotline number whereby our partners can call if there are elephants in a settlement area, and in that sense, our boots on the ground or our research team can respond by guiding the elephants outside the settlement area to a protected area. So we have a number of we have the MAP method that's monitoring, evaluate, and protection. MEP deploys innovative technique and technologies to monitor the four dots. We also evaluate. MEP builds bespoke technologies that evaluate conservation data and produce actionable outputs to influence policy, landscape planning, and deployment of resources. We as well protect. MEP deploys Kenyan rangers and researchers to protect elephants across the Mara ecosystem and protect the habitats as well, and as well the community and the connectivity of the landscape. We have different technologies that we normally use as the Mara Elephant Project to monitor our collared elephants out in the field, and sometimes even our organization asset like us. We have Earth Ranger. It's really an amazing software, and it's a real-time reporting software, whereby once a collared elephants approach to a settlement area, it will give us a notification, or if it is close to a settlement area, it will give us a notification, and in that sense, you can alert the nearest team to go and respond and guide back the elephants back to a protected area. As you can see over here, we have the red dotted lines, and that's what we call a virtual fence, or we call geofence. And in that sense, once an elephant get close to a geofence or break a geofence, then we know that elephant is in a settlement area. And in that sense, we can alert our teams to go and guide the elephants back to a protected area for us, to have to promote coexistence, so that we cannot have a point where elephants can come across, to human. So as you can see here, those are that's the movement of one of our collared elephant that's spread. And over time, like we've been, monitoring for quite a long time. And as you can see as well, like we have the reports, different reports, like, with Earth Ranger as a software. So we have some forms that our rangers and our researchers normally fill once they go out to guide elephants outside the settlement area, and that's the human-wildlife conflict event form, whereby you can fill the number of humans injured in that sense, or if the elephants are close to a settlement area, if the elephants are in a settlement area, or in a maize farm or something, then you can fill the form, and then you can as well identify the conflict species, whether it's an elephant or any other species, any other wild animal. And then we have the total count as well, on how many wildlife that were counted in that event. And we have as well the group composition, whether that's for elephants, whether it's cow or calf. And then we have you have to say if there were a number of wildlife dead, or any wildlife injured, and that sense we get all that data. And so, as you can see here, that's just that's a picture of a tracking collar. And over here, we have one of the collars deployed. Our CEO is deploying a collar to an elephant. And down here, that's Fred. That's one of our favorite collared elephant. His orange is just like within the Mar, Sukut and Mara North. And most of the time, he used, to go to a settlement areas. And here I can play a video, and probably you can as well observe and learn from that video. We have Ivy, Fred, and Kiggle. So we lost Kiggle early last year as a result of old age. So I can play the video, and you can see how these elephants get to cooperate. Thank you very much. And as you observe that video, normally there's the animation of Ivy, Kiggle, and Fed. And normally, during the night, Alphonse sneak to crop raid, and then back during the day for to hide in a near bush. And then as you can see, that's how they get to crop raid. And we can as well see one of the elephants, and as the helicopter is trying to guide him outside a maize plantation. So I can have the video play. Thank you. Thank you. So with that video, as you can see, we're fortunate enough to have one of the helicopters that's operating in the Greater Mara ecosystem. And our CEO was trying to guide these elephants outside a maize plantation. That means a farmer who was the owner of the maize plantation must have been really went through stress as a result of trying to push them back to a settlement area, and that's how we come up with some methods like deploying an helicopter to push the elephants outside a maize plantation. And with that said, we as well deploy drones, because an helicopter might be really quite expensive to keep it on air. And so our rangers are trained drone pilots, and our researchers as well are trained drone pilots. Most of them are respond to human elephant conflict, trying to guide elephants outside to a settlement area. So we deploy both a night vision and a drone as well for the day, trying to push elephants outside settlement area. As you can see in that video, you will see elephants in the settlement area, and I'll just thank you. So as you can see, we have a team that's dedicated during day and night, to make sure that we have a protection of our elephants in the Greater Mara ecosystem. So that's just one of the videos that we did during the night, and this one is a video that we did during the day. So as you can see there, those were elephants inside the settlement area, and they were inside a fence. And we had a team deployed, to guide elephants outside that settlement area and outside that fence as well. So that is how like elephants approach to fences as well. Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, we partner with different other organizations like the Kenya Wildlife Service, and we partner with the David Chedrick as well, and other partners. And that's just like a video of a vet attending to one of the injured elephants that we call him Olchoda. So thank you so much. So here we have individual 58. Individual 58 is a 45-year-old bull been attended by a vet for more than 5 times in Mara North Conservancy. About this bull, because we have what we call Elephant Book, as a software that's known as Elephant Book, that we use to identify and re-identify individuals across the Greater Mara ecosystem. And individual 58, been treated for for more than 5 times with arrow wounds due to human elephant conflicts, as you can see here. So I just mentioned about Elephant Book. This is a software that we use to identify and re-identify individual elephants. Right now, the number of group sightings that we did is about 1,170, and the number of individual sightings we did about 1,175. Number of individual sightings are 6,954. Number of sightings photos is about 71,551. Number of setting bounding boxes is 62,200. In that sense, we have to take, this is just a method that we use, ear knowledge. And in that sense, you can tell an elephant by using the holes and the tears of an elephant to know who is he or who is she. So that's basically what Elephant Book does. And so we as well are trying to find crops that are palatable to elephants. We have our experimental farm, but now it's a production farm. We were trying to find crops that are palatable to elephants. We planted about 48 species of crops, and we had a number of raiders crop raiders like in the farm. It's just adjusting to the crossing point. And in that sense, like elephants are free to enter, like it's not fenced, like it's just an open ground, like where elephants can access. We have hippos as well, like that can access. And so it started as an experimental farm, but later on, they did some economic analysis as well. And then now, like it's in production stage, whereby the community, being they're trying to teach the community on how to plant such crops that are palatable to elephants. So here is just the analysis of some of frequency of predators at the experimental farm, and we have 10% puffin monkey. We have hippos at 47%, and reason being for hippos being at 47% is because the farm is just adjacent to the Mara River, and a lot of hippos just close to that are nearby. And in that sense, once they just come out, they just get into the farm. And we have helmeted guinea fowl at 4%, goats at 1%, elephants at 24%. I think that's the second. And then cows at 4%, common blackbird at 1%, and others, aphids at 7%, and others at 2%. So those are some of the predators that came to the farm. So here is just our community outreach programs. To mitigate human-elephant conflict and strengthen community relationships, the Mara Elephant Project engages and support communities through multiple initiatives. This includes school education and sponsorship programs to foster awareness and empower future generations, community engagement forum like Barasas to facilitate dialogue and collaborative solutions, emergency response effort, others incident e.g. floods, search, and rescue. So over a decade of our impact, Mara Elephant Project were able to, so we have 400 plus poachers arrested, we have 2,500 plus cages ivory seized, 1,500 plus conflict incident mitigated, 2,500 plus nets removed, 5,000 kills of charcoal bags destroyed, and 1,300 bushmeat confiscated, and 80 plus elephants collared and monitored. 100 plus Kenyan community rangers and researchers are employed, 850 plus children engaged in the conservation education program, 240 plus women trained to grow elephant-friendly kitchen gardens, 125 plus Mara rangers trained in the MEP method. So this is the team, Asanteni Sana, and before I wrap it up, and you can follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. And we have our website as well that you can use to reach us. Thank you so much. Unless you have any question.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Amos. Asante sana. This talk especially has been so wonderful in terms of the technology that you guys have been using, the advanced technology. And in fact, Kurukwashe also mentioned that he really liked the Earth Ranger data real time. That was really incredible to be able to understand more of what's happening on the ground. And he'd also like us to share your contacts, which of course we will do. I see that Jeff has a question. Jeff, would you like to unmute yourself?
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. My question goes to Amos, who has just presented. Since he comes from Mara,
yes,
Mara is differently managed, as you understand. I think it's owned by the county government.
Right.
And also, Amos, where the Save the Elephants work around the Savo, there has been calls for the change in management from the national government to the county government. Since you come from the area around Mara, what would you comment about that call or the effectiveness of the county government in management of wildlife resources?
We partner with the county government as well, and as I said earlier, we are based in one of the conservancies around the Mara, just in the Maasai Mara Natural Reserve, and we based in Lemia Conservancy. That's just close to just between Lemia Conservancy and the Mara North Conservancy, and we partner with the national government, with the county government, in terms of management of these incredible elephants and all that. Is that well answered?
I wanted to understand the call to degazette national parks and national reserves that would then again be managed by the county governments, because there has also been the same call in the Savo area to degazette Savo national parks into Savo national reserves, and which would then be managed by the county government. Since you come from a county government that manages the Mara National Reserve, would you say that it's a proper call to degazette national parks into national reserves so that they are managed by the local county governments, which is like the local community?
I don't really think I have a right answer for you right now. Sorry.
Jeff, I see that Ewan's got his hand raised. Maybe we can bring him in on this discussion since he's more familiar with the area.
Thanks, Jeff, for your very pertinent question. I think it's important to premise the assumption that the Mara is owned by the county government. The majority, and Amos, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the majority of what is considered the Greater Mara ecosystem is actually community conservancies and community land.
Yeah.
Only the core, the center, the Maasai Mara National Reserve is owned by the county government. Amboseli National Park, there is a presidential directive to have Amboseli National Park turned over to county government, and that is an analogous situation where you have a small national park, the core of the ecosystem surrounded by a large area of community land and community conservancy. So that's very similar. There hasn't been, as far as I'm aware, any significant or substantial push to have any Tsavo national parks de-gazetted and reverted to county government management. In Tsavo, that's a much more complicated process because Tsavo national parks actually lie across 5 or 6 different counties. The county boundaries lie within the national parks themselves. So any de-gazettement or whatever would be many times more complicated. I don't think there's need for that. I don't think it's a good idea. The Kenya Wildlife Service do a fantastic job of managing Tsavo East National Park and Tsavo West, which are one of only 3 profitable national parks in the country. It brings in a lot of visitors, actually the momentum has been around some kind of revenue sharing to Taita Taveta County government because of Taita Taveta County. More than half of the county area is within the national parks, and so the county government has been campaigning to set up a revenue sharing scheme, so that part of gate fees and lodge rentals and profits or revenue from the parks would go to county government. The rest would go to national government as it currently stands. That there's been no. There's been a lot of talk about it. I'm not sure there's been any firm directives as there has been with Amboseli Park. So I hope that rounds it out a bit more for you.
Great, thank you for coming in on that, Ewan. And while you're here, why don't you ask your question about what the alternative crops are that are being used in the Mara?
Sorry?
I'm not sure if it's you, Ewan, or if you've shared your link with someone who's got the same name as you, but there's a question in the chat that said, great presentation, which are the crops that are being planted on the experimental farms? That's to you, Amos.
Right now, we're doing essential oils. That's chili, citirodora, tea tree, lavender, and rosemary.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, if there are no other questions, I think it's time to wrap things up. We did go a little bit over time, but we had such wonderful questions and a jam-packed schedule. I think it's really been worthwhile the extra time. I wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you, everyone in the online audience, of course, our Midland State University primary audience, and our wonderful speakers. I'm just going to put up our key learning outcomes as a reminder for the talks today. So we had from Kurukwashe, we learnt the root causes of human-elephant conflict in Zimbabwe. We explored non-lethal methods of mitigation like chili, mobile bomas. We recognized the value of community-led responses and appreciated the integration of traditional and modern conflict management strategies. Then with Donald, we explored how fortress conservation displaces communities. We examined the influence of political and economic power on conservation and evaluated the limitations of models like campfire, while finally understanding the need for justice-centered approaches to conservation. And then with Ewan, we learned about the scale of human-elephant conflict in Tsavo. We looked at practical mitigation tools like beehive fences. We understood the Save the Elephants training models and the importance of empowering communities for long-term coexistence. And Amos's talk, although we've just had it, we're going to run through the learning outcomes there, which is the scale of Oh no, we've got sorry about that. We've got a duplication there in our key learning outcomes, but hopefully since Amos just gave his talk, you're all that's all fresh in your minds. So I just wanted to say again a very big thank you to everyone for joining. Massive thank you to our speakers.